Screen visible है?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, all.
So screen visible.
Hello. Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
So let me make it full screen and see whether slides are changing or not.
Okay.
सर अगर स्लाइड्स चेंज नहीं होते हैं तो बीच में आप मुझे बता देना.
Sure, sir.
हो रहा है सर स्लाइड चेंज?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. हो रही है.
ठीक है सर.
Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, sir. And good afternoon, all dear students. Now the next session is on importance of research article in Ayurveda. Research is can we find answer to things that are unknown and filling the gaps in knowledge. Before proceeding the session, I want to introduce briefly Dr. Amit Nakanikar sir. Sir had done BMS and MD in Kai Chikitsa, has also done PhD in Kai Chikitsa from MHS Nasik. He has received gold medal in research. He is presently working as an assistant professor in Kai Chikitsa at Government Ayurveda College, Nagpur. He had written many research articles. He had also written a book on research. He had presented many papers at national and international seminars. This is a short introduction of sir because of shortage of time. Sir, you can proceed now.
Okay. Sir, my voice is clear?
Yes, sir, it is.
Slides are visible now?
Yes, sir, visible.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for such a wonderful introduction. And I am really happy to meet you all through this online mode. My today's topic of presentation is which is given to me by Dr. Waghe sir, is importance of research and articles in Ayurveda. So I am Dr. Amit Nakanikar. I guess there is some sound disturbance.
Okay, sir. Just a minute, sir. Now it is okay, sir.
So first of all, I would like to thank respected Dr. Waghe sir. He is really being an inspiration to many of the Ayurveda fraternities. And he is really phenomenal in guiding all of us. So thank you, respected Waghe sir. I also wish to thank chairman of the college and administration of the college for inviting me. I wish to thank all the students who are listening to me and all the physicians, researchers, and faculties who are really, found some time in their busy schedule to listen to me. First of all, I really wish to thank you all. So I really wish to, give my gratitude to all for your willingness to listen to me. Thank you. So when I got to know that I have to deliver this topic to first year batch of BMS, I just remember about what was happened to me when I took admission to first year BMS. So this is like a child, guess what will happen next and what will happen to me. And my parents, they were also worried. They were also thinking, we paid the fees and this is the thing and what will happen to me. And the same will be, for you. This is just, I guess, initial phase of your admission. So this is a real, what can happen to me, whether I can do something or I can do something. So this was a real condition for me. So why, why these research articles and research and articles are important to all of us. All of you are knowing that medical science has recently faced a lot of major outbreak of COVID-19. And many of us have, tried some Ayurvedic Kada, Ayush Path, or some Ayurvedic treatment module for mild to moderate, or some in severe cases of COVID-19. Some has also, tried for some Ayurvedic formulation for prevention of COVID-19. And there were so many things which happened during these 2 years, and we really think that whether this age-old Ayurveda is still applicable or not. Because during this period, there was a completely, great growing engine of a change. Every time we face, the guidelines are changing. Initially, we said that chloroquine is there. Then they said that remdesivir is there. Then remdesivir was withdrawn. Then initially chloroquine was also withdrawn. Everything that was came from modern science, that was withdrawn. But some of the Ayurvedic treatments that were introduced for the prevention as well as treatment, they were not withdrawn from it. And like it was really like whether this Ayurveda is really applicable to this or not. Can you see this image? If it is,
Yes, sir.
yes, yes. So what can you see in this image? One old man and an old woman, both are listening to each other. You can also see that there is some young man and young woman. They are playing some music. You can also see that some woman who is listening to their music. So there are so many things which you could see from this image. So this is, sometimes we can say that the same things are there, same fundamentals of there, same fundamentals are applicable like Rasavirya Vipak, some same polyherbal formulations or same herbs or same medicines, they are applicable even in today. And in modern science, we say that new diseases came, new diagnoses came, new treatment modalities are came, and on the other side of it, it's like illusion of permanence, that everything is still. And on the other side is, there is every time the things are changing. So we are really into this dilemma whether this is illusion of permanence is true or this great growling engine of change. This is true. What exactly is there? And this is applicable to each and every medical fraternity, including all of us. And what we really want to do is to balance this great growing engine of change as well as this illusion of permanence. And this is really what is important for the research in Ayurveda or research in the traditional medicine. And this is why it is really required. So usually, why do we took admission to BMS or why do we took admission to medical curriculum? It's to do a practice, to treat the patient. So usually हम लोग admission इसीलिए लेते हैं तो कि हम patients को treat कर सके, to do a practice, to give the relief to the patient. This is a very common thing for what we took admission to BMS. But what is the relationship between the research and a practice? So if there are good research, there are improvements in the clinical practice. And if there are newer observation in clinical practice, this will again lead to good research. For example, the research has shown that remdesivir is good, and it has, bring out some improved practice or some critical patients to get cured. While during the practice, they have observed that not every patient is getting benefited from the remdesivir. And then again, that research was applied, and then again, that remdesivir was withdrawn. So this is how the research can impact for good improved practice, and good practice and good observational, good observations and good reporting of the observations can make good research. So this is balance between the research and a practice. So practice also has impact on the research, while research has also been largely impacted to the practice. So this pendulum is proportional to each other. So this balance is always important. So that's why Good research is important for a good practice, and good practice is also important for good research. Now people will say, why do we need research in Ayurveda? क्यों जरूरी है? Ayurveda is anadi, it is ananta, it is shashvat, it is from age old. 5000 सालों से वही सिद्धांत है, वही सब चीजें हैं. तो आपको रिसर्च करने की क्या जरूरत है? You just want to do the practice. You just go and do the practice. Whatever Charaka had said, whatever Sushruta had said, whatever ancient Rishis had said, you just go and practice that and do the follow. Why do you want to do the research in Ayurveda? What newer things you will find? है ना, आप क्या नया ढूंढ लोगे? जो चरक ने जो ढूंढा है उससे क्या नया कर लोगे? What you will do? Can you make पंच महाभूता into 6 महाभूता? Can you make 3 dosha into 4 dosha? Or can you make 3 dosha into 2 dosha? What new you will do? People will always ask, because Ayurveda is anadi, it is ananta, it is shashvat. So आप नया क्या ढूंढ लोगे इसमें? But we all know that though Ayurveda is anadi, ananta and shashvat, but our life is adi. It has a beginning. All of us has a beginning. All of us has some birth date. All of us has anta. All of it, really end our life at some point of time. And all of that we know and all of that we are doing is अशाश्वत. हम लोग एक ना एक दिन आने वाले हैं, एक ना एक दिन जाने वाले हैं. तो ये सब चीजें अशाश्वत है. तो जो लोग अशाश्वत है, जिन लोगों का आदि अंत है, उन लोगों को ये अनादि अनंत और शाश्वत चीज अगर पढ़ना है तो वो एक लाइफ में पढ़ के पूरी नहीं होगी. इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल to understand all the things which are anadi, which are ananta, which are shashwat to the people who had adi, who has anta, who has shashwat. So this is an unending process. Like, to understand this anadi ananta things is every time you will find something different, and every time you will get something different, and that's why the research is never ending. So this process is never ending, because our life is itself adi, anta and ashashvat. Whatever we know is it is a temporary, but though fundamentals are permanent, our life is temporary. That's why we really need to, every time we really need to find out something different. This is like, the understanding the anadi ananta is like, हमारे लाइफ में हमने जो देखा वो हमने बता दिया, हमारे पूर्वजों ने उनकी लाइफ में जो देखा वो उन्होंने बता दिया, उनके आगे वाले लोगों ने उनकी लाइफ में जो देखा वो उन्होंने दिखा दिया. So this is like, understanding the story of a blind, 7 blind men. They are examining the people. Everyone, someone says that elephant is like a snake. Someone says that elephant is like a little funny nose. So this is like understanding the anadi ananta is like a anadi ananta by the people who has adi anta is like just similar of the story of a 7 blind men who are examining the elephant, and all of them are trying to explain elephant by their point of view, and the original elephant will be accumulation of all of them. So this is why this research is really important for the Ayurveda people. Ultimately, what research means? Research means searching for the truth. हम सत्य की खोज में हैं. हिंदी में उसको कहा जाता है सत्यान्वेषण. So finding the truth means the research. And when we look into our samhitas or ancient text, what was the last truth? In the first chapter of Charaka Samhita itself, they said that what is the last truth? The last truth for every one of us is mrityu, that is death. Death is the last truth for all of us. That at a point of time, every one of us will die. And there are 2 types of death. One is a kala mrityu and another is a akala mrityu. The timely death and untimely death. So what Ayurveda has really explained, it is to avoid the akala mrityu, that is the prolongation of a life. That's why the first name of the first chapter in Charaka Samhita is Dirgha Jiviti Adhyayam, while name of the first chapter in Ashtanga Hridaya is Ayush Kamya, that is prolongation of life. So to understand the truths, to understand the Akala Mrityu, to understand the causes of Akala Mrityu, to understand the reasons to avoid the Kala Mrityu, is everything it's situated. And this all of the Shastra is created with some reason. It is mentioned that in the first chapter of Charaka Samhita, it says that Vigna Bhuta Yada Roga Pradur Bhuta Sharirira. इसका मतलब है कि जब बहुत सारे रोग शरीर में हुए तो लोगों की अकाल मृत्यु होने लगी. So there was a अकाल मृत्यु of many people because of the diseases, and all the rishis, they came together and they thought of a research question that what is the solution for this roga? What is the solution for Vigna Bhuta Roga Pradur Bhuta Sharirina? So what are the things that we can do to avoid these diseases, to avoid this roga, to avoid this Akala Mrityu? So this was a research problem in front of them. So every research starts with some problem. आपके सामने कोई समस्या होती है तो समस्या का हल ढूंढने के लिए आप समस्या का सही हल ढूंढने के लिए आप रिसर्च करते हो in a very simple sense. So this was a samasya, this was a problem in front of our rishis. And ultimately modern science also says that the aim of the medicine is to prevent the disease and prolong the life. The ideal of medicine is to eliminate the need of a physician. So this was a research problem in front of them. And what was the hypothesis? तो उन लोगों का hypothesis क्या था कि ये जो आयुर्वेद है तस्य आयुषः पुण्यतमो वेदाः लोकयो उभयो हितम. ये जो आयुर्वेद है ये दोनों लोकों में ये हितकारी है. This आयुर्वेद can treat the diseases of today's disease as well as future diseases. So this is why this was the hypothesis behind it. And what was the conclusion after describing all the Charaka Samhita? What they said कि इससे क्या होगा if you practice Ayurveda, if you know the principles of Ayurveda, and if you work on these principles of Ayurveda, what you can achieve. So what really we want to achieve? What was the conclusion? What you can achieve is Dirghamayu Yashaswastham Trivargam Chapi Pushkalam Siddhim Chanuttamam Loke Prapnoti Vidina Pathan. Means you will get Dirghamayu, longevity of life, Yasha, success in your life, Swasthya, health in your life, and Trivargam. So तीनों लोकों में आपको स्वास्थ्य यश ये मिलेगा. और ये कितना मिलेगा? पुष्कल, बहुत सारा मिलेगा. और इसके साथ में हर कार्य में आपको सिद्धि मिलेगी. Everything that you will go, you will achieve the siddhi. So this was the problem and this was the solution. So research really starts with a problem. It starts with some hypothesis, and then some procedures or some research has been done, and then the conclusion. So this was in smart, this was a conclusion made by our ancient rishis. और उसके लिए फिर अलग अलग जो प्रोसेसेस थे वो हमारे ऋषि मुनियों ने एक्सप्लेन किए. You will learn in the Padartha Vigyan when you are first years will start. You will learn this in the Padartha Vigyan. Like you will learn about various darshan. One of them is a Sankhya Darshan. Sankhya Darshan talks about the Satkaryavad. So it talks about the effect of present and identification of the cause. So cause and effect relationship, this will be talked. It will talk about the Parinamba, effect of time during the research. So period of exposure. So all these things have been talked with, about it. These all things are mentioned in it. When we look for the various dimensions of the health research, there are various dimensions of the health research. One is the theoretical and applied research. One is the theoretical research, some fundamental research, some theoretical research, some theory behind it. What is the blood pressure, how to measure it, and some applied research. Applied research is the development of some instrument to measure the blood pressure, to measure the blood sugar, development of some, you can say, some medicines to cure some disease. So these are the applied research. And theoretical research means to develop some theory. So these are the basic dimensions of the research. Another is a preventive research and a therapeutic research. Preventive research is to prevent some diseases, development of vaccines, to development of some healthcare modules for prevention of disease. And therapeutic research means development of some therapy or some treatment. Bench-based research and bedside research. Researches that are done on the benches, है ना? तो physics, chemistry, उनको ध्यान में रखते हुए bench-based research और bedside research means the researches which are done in the clinics or with the patients. They are bedside research. One is the exploratory research and another is the confirmatory research. Exploratory research means to find out the various causes, what can be the possibilities, what can be the various causes. And another is the confirmatory research. Whatever findings are done in the exploratory research, they were confirmed in the confirmatory research. जैसे कि what is the cause of COVID-19? So COVID-19 the cause क्या था? So there can be a immunity, there can be the COVID-19 virus, there can be immunological response, there can be some metabolic changes. So these are the what can happen in COVID-19. So this is the exploratory research, and confirmatory research means confirming the finding, like COVID-19 virus is causing the disease. Coronavirus is causing the disease. So this is the confirmatory. Implementation research and a translation research. So this is also a dimension of another dimension of research. There are basic fundamental principles they need to be followed. First is the planning of research, teamwork, and 3 levels of research. One is the scientific review, ethical review, and regulatory review. आपको कोई भी research करना है तो उसमें scientific review करना पड़ेगा. What are the things which are currently present, if your research is ethical or not, and what are the regulatory review, if there is a foreign funding, if there is intellectual property involvement, if there are exchange of visitor. So these are the basic principles. They need to be followed in case of the various health research. These are the fundamental principles they need to be followed in the health research. What is the process of health research? Process of health research is to collect the data, then to ensure that the data collected is systematically, draw the meaningful conclusions, make the appropriate decisions, take the appropriate actions for prevention and control of the diseases and conditions, and take evidence-based actions. And this should be help in reduction in the suffering and ultimately improve the health. This is why we do the research. We do the research ultimately is to improve the health and well-being of the mankind. Broad scope for health research. Research का scope क्या है? So is to getting additional or new information. कोई नई इंफॉर्मेशन अगर मिलती है तो उसे लेने के लिए. Then second, to verify and confirm the available information, to confirm whether this Guruji is effective in COVID-19 or not, whether ashwagandha is effective in improving the immunity. So various researches done, they are also required to verify and confirm the information which is available to us, and explaining the cause and effect relationship, whether this particular cause is responsible to cause this particular effect. So research is also important for cause and effect relationship, to explain the cause and effect relationship, whether breast cancer are more common in breast implant recipients. So these are the cause and effect relationships. What is a broad scope of research? First is testing new drugs, testing new vaccines, tools, interventions for treatment and control of a disease. Can INH prophylaxis, for example, can INH prophylaxis delay the onset of tuberculosis, HIV in person? Whether also evaluating the ongoing national programs like anemia control program, like tuberculosis control program, whether this injectable iron sucrose is better alternative to deal with pregnancy than oral iron. So to evaluate the currently ongoing government programs, research is essential. So these are the various broad scopes for health research. Let us see now what are the challenges in designing and implementation of the research studies. So in this scenario, there are various challenges. अगर आपको we really find that we really desire to study the relationship between the variable and outcome. There are some confounders. Confounder means the factors that affect the study variable as well as the outcome. आपको जो रिसर्च करना है उसके आउटकम के ऊपर जो भी परिणाम करने वाले जो कॉजेस है उसको बोलते हैं कन्फाउंडर्स. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ यू आर यूजिंग सम मेडिसिन टू ट्रीट द डायबिटीज, उसके साथ में अगर पेशेंट ने शुगर खाना बंद नहीं किया या शक्कर खाना बंद नहीं किया तो दिस विल बिकम द कन्फाउंडर. Yes, some people will take more sugar, or some people will, stick to the non-consumption of sugar. So the medicine will work better in the patients who will stick with the dietary factors which are responsible for diabetes. So these things are called as a confounders. So there are some effect modifiers also. So effect modifiers can also impact the various researches, and it is good to be aware of this. So these are the challenges we really have during the research study. For example, when we do some research in Ayurveda, so we also see whether this particular medicine is effective or not. So there are particular confounders like Prakriti, Koshta. You will learn in the first year. So these are the various Ayurvedic fundamental concepts. They are also confounded. So in this way, we will understand a different relationship of researches, and we will have different challenges in research in Ayurveda. Currently, there are some focuses of health. So the current aim of or current focus of health research is how can health of a population be improved? How can we predict the occurrence of a disease in an individual? Like, can we predict that the particular Prakriti is responsible for the particular disease, or particular Saratva is responsible for the occurrence of particular disease? How can the various diseases be prevented? How can we effectively cure the diseases and reduce the associated morbidity and mortality? How Ayurveda can contribute to these questions? This is why this importance really is hard. Research in Ayurveda is really very important, because to know how health of the population can be improved, how immunity can be improved, how what are the measures from Ayurveda that we could apply to reduce the diseases. How can we predict with the help of fundamentals of Ayurveda to predict the occurrence of particular disease? What are various societal, community-based, and programmatic interventions for disease prevention and control? So these are the basic focuses of research, and how research in Ayurveda can contribute for this focus. Basically, health research aims at finding answers or practical solutions at individual level as well as at community level. So at individual level, it will be important to promote healthy behavior, prevention at individual level, early diagnosis, adequate and appropriate treatment, and rehabilitation. तो promote the healthy behavior जिससे कि आपको बीमारी ही ना हो, है ना? To ensure the early diagnosis of disease, to ensure the adequate and appropriate treatment. And at community level, health research aims at to improve the community behavior and practices, to improve the prevention at community level, to support the affected people, to reduce the stigma of that particular disease. जैसे कि हमने देखा कि कोविड हो गया तो स्टिग्मा हो गया है ना, तो अकेले रहना पड़ता था, 14 दिन अकेले रहना है, क्वारंटाइन रहना है. So this has caused lot of stigma to the individuals, है ना. कुछ छोटे बच्चे थे वो अपने माँ बाप से दूर हो गए. So that emotional stigma was also there. And to build the healthy nation and to build the healthy individuals can bring the healthy nation. So the health research aims at promotion of health. Now why do we publish, है ना. तो ये जो सब रिसर्च है, ये रिसर्च को हम जब लिखते हैं तो उसको पब्लिश करते हैं. तो रिसर्च में जो भी हमको, तो पहले हमने ये देखा कि why do we research. So what is the importance of research in Ayurveda? What is the importance of research in health sector? Now we will learn why really we publish this research, है ना. हमने तो रिसर्च कर लिया, लेकिन ये रिसर्च को पब्लिश क्यों करना है? Why really it is important to publish the research? First is for academic or career progression. It also allows us to communicate our research findings, to prevent the disease, to make the people aware about the truth, to make the people aware about the newer findings, to make the people aware about the newer therapies, to identify the research gap and potential areas of future research we really need to publish, and to improve the clinical practice. As I told you initially, that good research can lead to good practice, and good practice will also impact on good research. So usually when we become a doctor, when we see the patient, our treatment module guidelines will come again and again, and we should be aware about all the things which are coming into the society. So this topic is really important since the beginning of the introduction of this research methodology subject to the even to the undergraduate curriculum. There are various types of publications, like articles that can be written. First is the original research, like clinical research. आपने कुछ दवाई दे दिया, कुछ पेशेंट को उससे ठीक लगा, उसको नहीं लगा, so this is the clinical research. आपने कुछ वैक्सीन दे दिया, तो वैक्सीन से वो डिसीज प्रिवेंट हुआ नहीं हुआ, so this is the clinical research. Then there is a preclinical research. Before going to the clinical studies, usually we do some animal studies, we do some in silico studies, we do some cell line studies. So all these things are called as a preclinical studies. And in the clinical studies also, and in the preclinical studies also, there are two types of research that we can publish publications. One is observational research and another is a interventional research. Observational research aims at just observing the naturally occurring phenomena, है ना. जैसे observational research has come from the Newton में जो जैसे the theorem of gravity, it is an observational research. And interventional research is finding out some solutions to the diseases, finding out some new medicine. It is like a interventional research. Another type of publication is editorial reviews. जो जर्नल के जो एडिटर्स होते हैं वो अलग अलग रिव्यू अपने ओपिनियंस पब्लिश करते हैं. So that is also a editorial review. Meta analysis and systematic review. मेटा एनालिसिस और सिस्टमेटिक रिव्यू ये ऐसा होता है कि जितने भी सभी क्लिनिकल रिसर्च हुए हैं या प्री क्लिनिकल रिसर्च हुए हैं उन सभी रिसर्च को इकट्ठा करके उनका एक रिसर्च करना कि ये सभी मिलके क्या कर रहे हैं इन टोटल व्हाट दे से. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज मेटा एनालिसिस और systemic review. And another is to describe this systemic review is called as a narrative review. Another type of publication is a discussion kernel. Discussion kernel means you have some concept in your mind, but you are unsure about this particular concept. And you are saying that, you know, that there are two sides of that particular concept. Then that particular publication is called as a discussion kernel. Some case reports, like, you know, you see some cases which are unusual and the findings are not clear, then such cases are called as a case report. Another is a letter to editor. Some authors, some people are reading the research papers, and some people are reading the meta-analysis, some people are reading the journals, and they want to express their views about that particular case, and they want a letter to editor. So this is called as a letter to editor. Another type of publication is a book review. आप कोई किताब है, किताब के बारे में अगर नई किताब है, अच्छी किताब है, तो दैट इज ऑल्सो अ टाइप ऑफ पब्लिकेशन, दैट इज अ बुक रिव्यू. Another one is an invited commentary. Suppose the particular person is expert on that particular topic, like some journal like JAM has published some issue on diabetes, and there are some internationally renowned diabetologists, say Dr. V. Mohan or Dr. Shashank Doshi, and the journal invites all those senior authors to write the commentary about that particular issue. So this is called as a invited commentary. Another is, recently there are publications, peer reviews are also published. Some journals like Lancet or say PMC, some nature journals, they are publishing peer reviews along with the DX and DOI number. This process is called as open peer review system. So this is also another type of publication. पहले ये publication नहीं माना जाता था, लेकिन recently peer reviews are also called as publications, and they are being also assigned to a DX DOI number by some very renowned journals. This publication of peer reviews varies from journal to journal. Publication of research protocol is also a type of publication. Recently कुछ journals जो है वो research protocols भी publish करते हैं. Publication of guidelines, the clinical practice guidelines या research guidelines, this is also a type of publications. विग्नेट मीन्स कोई एक बड़ा कोई साइंटिस्ट है, उसका आपने इंटरव्यू लिया एंड उसके ओपिनियंस आपने जो पब्लिश किए, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज अ विग्नेट्स. विग्नेट्स इज आल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टाइप ऑफ पब्लिकेशन to understand the specific content from that topic through the expert or a specialist or experienced person. Another type of publication is a thought leadership article. Thought leadership article means a new thought which is coming from an experienced person for that particular field, and he has given his thought for that particular subject. This is called as a thought leadership article. Another type of publication is a short communication. You have the particular findings, you have a research in a small value, you have done some pilot study, but you have not done a fully sample size calculated research. Then such research is called as a short communication. Another is a life profile. You know some visionaries, you know some dignitaries, you know some persons who are really, who have really contributed in the field of Ayurveda, and someone has written about their contribution to the clinical field. Then this is called as a life profile of that particular senior person. Another type of publication is a conference report. So publication of conference report, it means you have conducted some conference, and in that conference there are some various clinical researches or some clinical preclinical researches, and some thought processes or some keynote speakers have also done their contributed, and you are publishing the summary of that particular conference. This is also a type of publication, conference report. And future events, some conference is coming and you really want to publish, you really want to write about that conference. It's called as a publication of future events. This is very important. Be aware of the predatory journals. प्रीडेटरी जर्नल का मतलब ऐसा है कि जो साइंटिफिक जर्नल दिखाई देते हैं लेकिन असल में वो साइंटिफिक होते नहीं है, वो झूठे होते हैं. So this is called as a predatory journal. The predatory journals are defined as those who have following characteristics: prioritize the self-interest at the expense of scholarship. They give you the false and misleading information. The articles or scientific articles, they are published in the journal, they deviate from the best editorial and publication practices. They lack in transparency, they lack in aggressive and indiscriminate solicitation practices. So this is how recently the predatory journals are coming to the practice, and this is how the beings have defined how to identify the predatory journals. So to identify the predatory journal, Jeffrey Bell, one of the library scientists, he has published a list called as Jeffrey Bell's list of predatory journals, that is false journal. So the journals who are in the Jeffrey Bell's list are called as a predatory journal. इसका मतलब ऐसा है कि वो झूठे journals है, उसकी जो they are not a scientifically reliable journals. While the journals which are there in the UGC care list are called as a scientific journal. So दो तरीके के journals होते हैं, the journals or the publications which are scientific or which are scientifically valid, they are listed in the UGC care list. While the journals who are listed in Jeffrey Bell's list are called as a predatory journals, or they are not good journals, bad journals, or they are bogus journals, or they are dubious journals. So Jeffrey Bell's list is for the dubious journals, while UGC care list is for the good journals. So this is why you should be very aware about this predatory journals. So how you can identify a predatory journal? You can identify with the types of articles published, who is a publisher, what are its peer review process, what are its fees and policies, whether fees and policies are clear, whether the website and the contact information is clear or not, is it a member of good publication society like COPE, ICMJE, whether it is indexed in the Scopus, PubMed or Web of Science, what type of articles are published, what type of peer review services they are. Peer review means when you submit the article to a particular journal, it will go to the experts. Experts will analyze that particular article and they will give their comments and to improve that particular journal. And they will, this is called as a peer review. So whether there is a transparent fee policy, what is the indexing, who are the editorial board members. So on the basis of these, you can really identify the predatory journal. So these are some useful tools with the help of which you can identify the predatory journals. That is, one good list is think, check, and submit. Some links are given for the choosing of the predatory journal. So think, check, and submit is a very good link, with the help of which you can determine whether this journal is good or not, or you can go to UGC care list, or you can go to Jeffrey Bell's list. So in the UGC care list, you will find good journals, and in the Jeffrey Bell list, you will find bad journals. So what should be the practical approach? So whether the journal is indexed in Scopus or Web of Science or PubMed, if it is not indexed, then it is probably a predatory journal and avoid it. And if it is not indexed and it is not a predatory journal, then whether it is indexed in the UGC care list or not, check for the UGC care list or not. If the journal is so what is the impact factor of that particular journal? If it is indexed in Scopus, Web of Science or PubMed, and its impact factor is more than 2, then this should be given first preference, while impact is less than 2, then second preference should be given. These are various types of publications which I have explained you earlier. So my job today is, I cannot explain you within everything about the research and research in Ayurveda with this short duration. I can just show you that there is a sky, and like the number of stars in the sky. I can give some thing for you, whether you can, with the help of which you can identify the particular star, or whether you can identify the particular moon. I can give you the instrument. I can tell you how to use that instrument, how to identify that particular star with the help of this scope. And your job is to learn and to achieve the success, to achieve the star. So my job today is just to show you how many stars are there and to give you the glimpse of it and to give you the just vision to how to look for it. And the take-home message for you is, in the first year, for take-home message, it's dedication, hard work, and sincerity are the ingredients which are needed to cook the meal of success. All you have to do is to put them together in the right manner, and with little sort of luck, you can definitely or surely test these delights of achievements in your respective areas, whichever you want to progress. So thank you very much, and I wish you good luck, and I wish you a lot of success. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for giving me opportunity. And I once again I thank Dr. Vaji sir and his team for providing me an opportunity. I again thank to all of the students who are really listening to me. There are some questions I will be happy to answer. Thank you very much.
Students, if you are having any question, you can directly ask to sir. I think no question at the moment, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your uh, qualitative lecture, and also thanks for the take-home message. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was very informative session, and you have spread awareness around the subject research in Ayurveda very well. Thank you once again for quality time you spent with us in spite of your busy schedule.
Thank you, sir.
काफी अच्छा लेक्चर था सर. बस ये है कि स्टूडेंट अभी फर्स्ट ईयर में है, तो
Yes, yes,
दे आर
definitely.
नॉट मच फैमिलियर टू दिस टॉपिक.
Yes.
स्टिल उन्हें पता चल गया है कि आगे उन्हें रिसर्च में क्या करना है करके थोड़ा एक आइडिया उन्हें जरूर मिला सर आपके लेक्चर से.
Like I told that I cannot, I can just show you how there are so many stars, and I can just show you that there
Yes,
is
sir.
one, there is one
Yes, yes, sir.
binocular. There is a binocular, and there are so many stars. The take-home message is that.
Yes. Yes, that's why I said, sir, that the take-home message was very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, students. Your next session was on your syllabus, but that is postponed for today because Dr. Pardeshi sir is busy. It will be take tomorrow or later on. Okay. For today, the 4th day of transitional curriculum program is done for now. If anyone having any query, they can ask me.
सर हेलो सर.
Yes.
सर ग्रुप पे बोला है कि 23 से क्लासेस चालू हो रही है, तो वो ऑफलाइन है या ऑनलाइन है वो पता नहीं.
वो फर्स्ट ईयर फैकल्टी डिस्कस करके तुमको एक नोटिफिकेशन दे देंगे उस चीज के लिए ना.
हाँ सर, लेकिन दूर से है ना, तो फिर आने में ये लगता है ना, एक दिन लगता है. तो फिर
okay. I will give your message to first year faculty. They will tell you tomorrow itself.
यस सर, थैंक यू सर.
Okay. ठीक है, फिर आज के लिए इतना ही. Goodbye all of you.
थैंक यू सर.
Thank you, sir.
वेट. तुमको सेशन कैसे लगा आज का? कोई एक जन मुझे फीडबैक दे सकता है? कोई भी एक जन. अभी का भी सेशन काफी अच्छा था और मॉर्निंग का भी जो मोटिवेशन है वो भी. बट मुझे एक चीज तुम लोगों से बोलना है कि तुम्हारा जो स्ट्रेंथ है वो बहुत कम हो रहा है. ये जो प्रोग्राम हो रहा है ये तुम्हारे लिए हो रहा है, तो मैक्सिमम लोग अटेंड करो. ओके.
सर ग्रुप में बच्चों को शायद पता नहीं, मैसेज नहीं आया करके नहीं आते कुछ.
तुम्हारा ग्रुप नहीं बना है क्या?
ग्रुप है, लेकिन वहाँ पे वो जो लिंक दी है ना, वो एक ही लिंक है ना, तो किसी किसी को पता नहीं होगा कि वही लिंक से आना है करके.
हाँ, उसी लिंक से डेली ज्वाइन करना है. ना, तो वो लिंक तुम वो ग्रुप में शेयर करो और सबको ज्वाइन करने के लिए बोलो,
हाँ सर।
क्योंकि आज का जो
सर
स्ट्रेंथ था वो काफी कम था।
सर प्लीज आप थोड़ा जल्दी बताइएगा कि 23 से ऑनलाइन या ऑफलाइन, क्योंकि हमें भी तैयारी करना पड़ेगा ना सर फिर।
ओके ठीक है, मैं फर्स्ट ईयर फैकल्टी को बोलता हूँ तुम लोगों से। तुम्हारे पास नंबर नहीं है क्या फर्स्ट ईयर फैकल्टी का?
सर हमने मैसेज किए ग्रुप में, हमारा जो ग्रुप बना है ना उसमें मैसेज किए, लेकिन किसी ने रिप्लाई नहीं किया अभी तक।
ओके ठीक है ना, तुमको बताया जाएगा कल तक ही।
हाँ सर।
ओके ठीक है, आई एम लीविंग मीटिंग नाउ।